Hey, what's up guys? Ben Clark here for Adapt to Reform. In today's video I'm going to talk a bit about why I love my wheelchair. Now, I wanted to do some videos where it's a little less planned and a little bit more speaking from the heart as such. So basically what I'm going to do with these sort of videos is pick a topic that I want to talk about and just sort of chat with you guys about it. So I want to make this a two-way conversation, so please feel free to put in the comments anything I talk about in this video. Just go down below and have a chat. As I said, this isn't planned, so I don't really know what I'm going to say too much, but I have a rough idea. I speak about this sort of stuff a lot, so hopefully you'll gain some insight into what I'm sort of trying to talk about. As I said, today I want to talk about why I actually love my wheelchair. It's quite an unusual thing to talk about. People generally think that a wheelchair is quite a negative situation to be in. If you see someone in the street, if you're not a wheelchair user, you might think, oh, you might take pity on them, for example. But actually, for me, my wheelchair is a source of liberation, and that's kind of what I want to dive into a bit today. So basically, let's go back a bit to before I was in a wheelchair. So I was a 19-year-old. I was living in Australia at the time, and I basically thought I was invincible. I was quite a high-level swimmer. I had sort of the whole world at my doorstep as such. I could do anything I wanted to. I could be anything I wanted to. I had literally any sort of path I wanted to choose. And my path that I wanted to choose was I wanted to be a professional swimmer, which is quite a hard thing. I was swimming loads. I was training every morning, often most evenings as well. I was working as well as that to support this career that I wanted to go down. And I was living a great life as well. I was going out with friends, I was being very social. It was an amazing time in my life. And, when I had my accident, I came back home and I had my accident, and basically that life had just suddenly stopped. Something that I'd been doing, working towards that point, and I was going, lots and lots, of years to get to that point, and then suddenly it's changed all within an instant. And that is crazy, going from thinking you're an invincible person to then suddenly being not realizing that you're not invincible, you're just a human being, is quite a big, knock on your ego as such. Going from that sort of way of living and then going to where I'm stuck in a bed for 8 weeks, and then I'm realizing that I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, not being able to move from my chest down, my hands being a bit, not that great, and struggling to do just simple things like going to the toilet or, dressing myself, all those little things that I used to take for granted, just getting outside for a bit, that's now actually a hard thing. But in terms of what I want to get onto with this video is talking about the wheelchair and, why I wanted to see it more in a positive light, because let's take an example, there's a world that wheelchairs don't exist. Spinal cord injury still happens. People break their necks. There's other reasons why people get in wheelchairs, whether it's through a disease, whether it's through birth. There's lots of different ways. If we didn't have a thing that is a wheelchair, then we wouldn't be free to go and do the things we want to do. This actually allows me to get outside, and it actually allows me to live the life I want to live. And that's kind of why I wanted to get on this video. If you're somebody in a wheelchair, hopefully maybe you can relate to this and you can and take it as a source of inspiration and positivity. And if you're not in a wheelchair, then hopefully you might be able to take something from this that is like, hey, that's not a negative situation. That's allowing that person to live their life. I'm glad that that's happening for them. So hopefully it's just a bit of a change of mindset. A bit, across a wide variety of people. But, the amazing thing about my wheelchair is that it's not just that it allows me to get outside and live the way I want to live. It's actually opened so many doors for me. My life before my accident was very much, I'm doing this one thing and this was my goal. And that was great. I was living a great life. I'm not disappointed with that whatsoever. But since having my accident, it made me really appreciate what life has to offer. I wasn't, before I was just doing the swimming, and lots of times I wouldn't be enjoying it as such. But it was my goal, it was my commitment. It's like, it doesn't matter if I wasn't enjoying it at the time. I've got a goal that I want to reach and I want to get there. But now what I do, I take life a bit more of an approach where I'm trying to not trying to seek success and happiness. I'm just trying to be happy and hope that success comes along with it. And that's sort of why I went down the road of making YouTube videos. I really enjoy doing it. I love passing my knowledge on. But in terms of what opportunities have come, I've done so many things that I probably never ever would have done. Recently, for example, I had an amazing trip to Italy. I got to go sailing on a boat, which I've never done before my accident. I got to do rally driving recently. I went water skiing, and all these amazing things that happened because I was injured and because I'm in a wheelchair. And I'm lucky enough, and other wheelchair users, especially in the UK, are lucky enough that there are charities set up to help people like myself have these experiences, because it's a really amazing thing when you see that you're able to do something that you didn't ever think you would be able to. And there's a lot more than just having a fun time. I went and did rally driving, but it made me feel like I had full control of a vehicle. I don't have full control of my body, but I was learning to have full control of this motor vehicle that was going 60 miles per hour, sliding sideways, really great fun. Be sure to go and check out that video. If you do, I went water skiing, and it meant that I was going fast. That's something, I'm not allowed to drive fast in my car on the road, and 60 miles per hour in a rally car, although it's fast, it doesn't feel massively fast. However, water skiing, where you've got no protection around you, you've got a helmet on, and you're holding on, that feels fast. You're really doing that. And other things like going on holiday, going to Italy, going to Bali, and having all these really amazing experiences, meeting people around the world, talking to people online that I never thought I'd met, all due to my disability. It was this one event that happened in my life that you might see as a negative thing, but actually it was probably the most positive thing that ever happened to me. And it's quite hard to wrap your head around. I don't fully understand it myself, how something so negative or something perceived so negative. If I told myself that when I was 19, you're going to break your neck and this is the life you're going to have, then I would be like, holy crap, that's awful. I don't want to be that. I want to carry on, and I might have lived a bit more of a sheltered life, but the fact that it happened, and I've had these amazing experiences because of it, has really been life-changing. And it's liberated my mind. It's made me a lot more happier as a person. It's made me a lot more understanding of other people. I was a very self-centered person. I was a swimmer. All I did was stare at the bottom of the pool, black line. It's not a team sport, so I don't have to worry about everybody else there. And all I have to worry about is myself and what I'm doing. And coming out of that, and then having this thing where I'm like, I'm disabled now. I'm the less fortunate, I guess. Although I don't see it that way personally. I'm what I would have perceived the less fortunate as being. But I think that sort of all comes down to the mindset of it. I'm very fortunate, the fact that I had a great upbringing. I live in the UK, which is amazing, sort of more of a social sort of political situation where we're supported by our government. We're not expected to sort of fight for ourselves, which both have positives, both have negatives. But it meant that when the worst happened to me, I was given the help and support that I needed to get on my way, which that's very fortunate in that situation. But yeah, I say, I've not planned this video, so I'm going to go off track a lot. But yeah, the things I've done are absolutely amazing. I've lost my train of thought. I know I would, but that's all right. So let's get back on to what this video is about, and that is about why I love my wheelchair. And as I said, the opportunities that have been arise because of it, and it's not because they've not just fallen on my doorstep. I had to go and chase them. Straight after my injury, I didn't always have these opportunities that I've had recently, especially if you follow my Instagram or my YouTube channel. You see that I've had these water skiing, rally, all the things I've already mentioned. But when I first was injured, my mindset was, I just need to get back into swimming. That was my first thing I wanted to do, get back into swimming. And I realised that my love for the sport had dwindled because of my injury, and I wanted to stop. And for a bit, I was a bit like, "Oh, you know, this is my life now. I'm just gonna not really have many friends. I'm not gonna do much." But it was when my mindset changed in terms of I need to go and have a purpose in life that my opportunities became more and more. So although, you know, I said that the turning point was my disability in my life in terms of a big changing point from being self-centered, highly motivated individual to being somebody who's more caring, and that sort of happened later in life, like a couple of years after the injury. You know, that was, you know, the catalyst was the injury, but it happened. It took a while to sort of realise and change that mindset and be in the sort of positive situation that I am now. Again, I've gone sort of off track, I often do, but that's kind of what these videos are about. It's not really, you know, I pick a topic, talk about it and see where it leads to. Anyway, where should we go to? Yeah, talk about why I love the wheelchair and these opportunities. Is that mindset that happened, that mindset change, and it was, yes, my disability has opened up doors, but it wasn't because of my disability. It was because I changed my mindset because of my disability, if that makes sense. You know, it was like a series of events that laid its way to being in the situation I now am, where actually because I've been outwardly positive, because I've started my YouTube channel, because I've done the Instagram and it's grown, I've actually had more opportunities come my way. And it's because there's a lot of people that don't, you know, believe in if you outwardly, you know, there's a lot of voodoo words, I would say, that people talk about, but there's a really real sort of thing where you actually put something positive out into the world and you get positivity back from it. You know, I'm massively into just like helping people be motivated, be positive, be the best versions of themselves possible. And because of that, I've had lots of positive energy back. Companies and charities see that and they want me to come and experience what they do so I can show more people and they can get more exposure. And it doesn't really matter what the motives are or that, but having that outwardly positive nature, it means that a lot more positive things are happening in my life. And yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster journey, as I said, but it's amazing what happens because I'm disabled. And that's a weird thing to say, that, as I said previously, that this thing that somebody would deem as wholly negative is actually probably the best thing that happened to me. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. So let's carry on with why my wheelchair. Like, as I said, it's allowed these opportunities. That's talking more about my disability than my actual wheelchair. But like having the opportunity to go out, spend time with my girlfriend, spend time with my friends, and actually like being able to go and have these amazing experiences. Like the wheelchair is sort of, it's kind of my legs. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know, it's a weird thing to say, but my wheelchair is sort of my leg replacement. And actually, it kind of makes me unique in a way. It's a talking point. It breaks the ice a lot of times, you know, by talking about it. Yeah, it's kind of cool actually having a wheelchair. It's not actually that bad of a thing, you know. I get to go down hills a lot quicker than most people. I struggle uphill, but that's not a problem. Yeah, it's just quite fun actually being in a wheelchair. It's not as bad as what it seems, you know. It might seem like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you soon learn when you're in a wheelchair to adapt. Hence my channel, Adapt to Perform. You learn to adapt to your situation and sort of just get on with it. Yeah, and that again changes your mindset when you think about like, oh, I've got to adapt this, I've got to move, you know, I've got to do this, I've got to go up that way rather than down this way because there's some rough terrain or some steps. I've got to go this way. It might be a little bit tougher, it might take me longer, but I'll get there eventually. And that's a really great way of thinking in life. And probably a good way to end this video actually, that the Adapt to Perform lifestyle, as I like to push, that being in this situation actually makes you a lot more resourceful and a lot more adapting to situation, which is such a great way to think about life. You know, get into an obstacle and saying, hey, not just giving up, but going like, hey, there's a way around this. I know there's a way around this because I'm a wheelchair user and I know that I can get around things if I just think of it creatively. So yeah, I reckon that's a good way to leave this conversation. If you like this video, then please let me know in the comments below. I wanted to just be open and honest and just talk about this and ramble. And you know, I'm somebody who loves to ramble. I do a bit of public speaking, and a lot of the time in the public speaking I go off topic and just ramble and just sort of find my way down this path, and I actually quite enjoy it. So I thought, why not sort of have an outlet for that? Why not post it on YouTube where I can actually ramble and have a good conversation? So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment, saying let's carry on this conversation down there. If you know me, I reply to every single comment I can possibly do. Some of them get flagged up and I don't see them, but I'll try and find ways to get back to you as I can. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy it, again, comment, but subscribe as well to the channel. I'll be sure to do more of these types of videos. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.